Yo, what's up? How you been? Long time no see, kinda, right? We making this more frequent, more, more, habitual, to share our thoughts with the people. Um, but today we have a change of scenery. We're moving out of the realm of room and car. Now we're with the backyard and the vitamin D. And I'm pretty jazzed about that because I live in Washington, so the sun is pretty phenomenal anytime. Today I really want to talk about something that's super near and dear to my heart, and that is weight loss. For people that don't know me or haven't known me for a period of time, might not know that I was significantly larger as a former version of myself. At my heaviest, I weighed nearly 110 pounds more than I do now, and a lot of people ask me how I've done it, and they ask for advice on how to do it themselves. And the thing is, I can't tell you what your formula for success is. I can tell you what's worked for me, but that doesn't necessarily guarantee that it's going to work for you. And at the heart of the matter, I've been thinking about it, and I do have something I can say. I recognize within myself that a large reason why I got to be the size that I did was because there was pain within my life that I wasn't acknowledging. It's kind of like that Inside Out movie where there's like that panel of emotions, and every situation warrants like one spotlight emotion to kind of dictate how we're going to respond. So happiness, sadness, anger, I don't know, excitement, whatever emotions that you primarily use in your life, were ones that I was really familiar with. But in terms of pain, I didn't like pain. I wanted to run away from pain because it hurt and it was uncomfortable. And the society that we live in does not encourage us to talk about pain, right? Pain is just weakness leaving the body. Pain is for the weak. Pain's for the weak-minded. So, we're not really encouraged to acknowledge and to look at those things and to look at how it affects us, right? And so for me, like, a huge thing that I did growing up was anytime I felt discomfort or sadness or anger or any type of emotion I didn't want to feel, pain especially, I would pacify it with food. So I'd eat if I was happy, I'd eat if I was sad, but if I was in pain, I would especially eat. And it kind of becomes like cancerous, kind of like a mutant, because all pain wants is to be heard and validated. It's kind of like being in a conversation where everyone's talking and they're being seen and heard and everyone's laughing, but you try to, hey, hi, you just try to insert your opinion and people are like, shut up, no one cares, get out of here. It leaves you with this really shitty feeling, right? And so it kind of becomes sort of like one of those Space Jam aliens. In the beginning, they're like super cute and they're like proportionately sized, but when they're neglected and they're not validated, they grow and they get bigger, and then they're like on steroids, right? And they're just destroying everything. And then pain becomes manipulative towards your other emotions because it sees that those emotions are being heard and validated, so it starts to poke at them. So we start acting out of anger, but really we're in pain. And when we're happy, we're allowing happiness to like overshine the pain, right? And we're using happiness as sort of like an alternative to the pain, faking it. How you doing today? Oh no, I'm great and fine, just wonderful. I'm not okay. Our society doesn't encourage us to say, you know what, I'm really feeling this way right now, right? Society doesn't profit off us saying that. Society profits off of us buying new things, new shoes, new cars, new houses. We're looking for new relationships, new people in our life, right? Sex, drugs, alcohol, rock and roll, video games, all of those things which society profits off of, social media, society profits off of, and it's a way to avoid our pain, right? Look, the wind agrees. And so, it becomes sort of like, so cancerous and so toxic that it sort of becomes like a little hurricane, and you start to feel this. I felt physical pain right here in my solar plexus. I think people feel pain in different parts of their body based off their own experiences, but for me that's where, and it felt like a hurricane of sadness, and it was scary, and so I did anything I could to run away from it. And eventually, I recognized that I needed to validate that, and I had to sit with it. And so I started to say, all right, pain, you're being my teacher right now. What are you trying to tell me? And pain's going to say, you know what? You've spent years trying to ignore me. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to be mean. I'm going to throw you into this hurricane and then rip the doors off, and I'm going to make you feel really shitty, right? And you just sit there. Okay, pain. All right, I'm sitting here with you. I'm here. What do you need me to do? Right? And eventually pain comes around and it starts to say, well, I'm really sad because 7 years ago this happened and you didn't stand up for me. Or, you know, this happened and nothing was done about it. Or, you know, I felt really sad when this happened and nothing happened. You know what I mean? Or you didn't stand up for me, or you didn't believe in me, or whatever the case is. And so then my job was to right those wrongs, right? Was to stand up for myself. And that meant that I even called people up that I hadn't talked to in years, and I said, you know what, 10 years ago when you said that, that really upset me. And that meant that in the present, when things were happening, that I was feeling pain, I had to weather those storms, and I had to learn. I got to learn how to stand up for myself. I got to learn how to make friends with pain. And pain, the more I validated it, the more I heard it, the more I saw it, the smaller it got. And it became less like that steroid alien off Space Jam, and it became more like itself. And this goes back to, like, to me as losing weight. I became more healthy in my weight. I let go. I don't lose because it wasn't serving me anymore. I let go of things that didn't serve me. I let go of those fears, right? And I think that shows in how I appear now, right? And it's okay, and I have to explain or acknowledge that it's just like how I got to being over 300 pounds in the first place. That didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen with one cheat meal. It didn't happen with a week's worth of cheat meals. It happened with years of cheat meals, right? So breaking yourself back down from that and letting go of those things is not going to happen overnight. You're not gonna go from being obese to a bodybuilder in one workout session and one healthy meal, right? It's a process, and it comes with peeling back the layers of an onion, chipping them away, and being brave enough to sit with yourself, because eventually you come to recognize that you're worthy of that. That's how I lost weight. That's how I lost over 100 pounds. And through that, I have learned a new sense of peace. I get to be present. And some days are still really hard. Some days I'm still rocking back and forth on the ground, and I'm crying and it hurts. Or I'm shaking because what I want to do is I want to act out in an old way that used to bring me relief. I want to eat a cookie or 10, you know, or I want to hang out with people that used to bring me relief. But in reality, those aren't healthy people for me anymore, you know? Until what is bringing pain is outweighed by the desire to change, the pain of not acting in your own best interest, the pain of knowing that this is not right for me, that being over 300 pounds is not good for me, until knowing that spending 24 hours on video games or drinking excessively or bad relationships, whatever it is that you use to pacify your pain, until the pain of doing those things is not larger than the pain of just sitting with that discomfort, you'll continue to act out by playing video games, being in toxic relationships, eating unhealthy foods. It's a process. So take what you like from that and understand that everyone has their own pain, and we're all working on it, and we're all doing the best that we can. But there's options, and a lot of that comes from being present and validating yourself and believing that you're worth the validation and the presence. And there goes the ice cream man, but I don't feel the desire to run after him anymore because I let that go. And that's a good feeling. It's a freeing feeling. and he's gone. See, just like that, that storm comes to pass, and you're present with it, and you can breathe. So that's pretty much all I want to say. So I hope you guys have a great week.